Well, I mean, in Miami, you basically have to be rich. I mean, I'm not a millionaire yet, am I? It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of Black Boys Abroad. I have a special treat for you guys today. One of my boys came in town. I just had to interview him and tell a very interesting story. So first and foremost, can you tell the people your name?
How you doing, everybody? My name is Kobe.
And Kobe, how can they find you on social media?
I'm at all social media handles at Kobe, official Kobe, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right. And Kobe, I know that's short for something that's probably sounding more African, but we won't get into that. Where are you from? What's your origins exactly?
I'm originally from Ghana, Accra, Ghana, which is the capital. Mm-hmm. And my mother is half Nigerian, so I have a little bit of Nigerian in there.
Okay.
You know.
No, like it's funny. I did the DNA testing like a few years back, and I was like 70% Nigerian. And nothing against my Nigerians fan. I was hoping that I was Ghanaian just because I want to visit my origin place. And all the Nigerian people I ever meet tell me not to go there. But I hear Ghana is very developed, safe enough
right,
to travel
yeah. Ghana is a little bit, I would say Ghana is a little bit safer in general because now there's a lot of American tourists moving over there and starting businesses. So,
and I know they had that move a couple of years ago where they were trying to give like citizenship to African Americans, like come back home type of deal.
Yeah, it's a big movement right now.
So that's what's up. And what is your profession? I know you have a very interesting career choice.
At the moment, I'm an actor. So I'm located in Los Angeles, and I've been pursuing acting for the last decade or so, and it's been going well. You know, it's been a journey. Quite the journey.
So where would people like find you on? If they went on Netflix, what shows would they see you on?
I did an episode on Dear White People. I also was on this show called The Politician. I'm on season 1. You know, episode 2, 3, 4, 5. Few of them. Most of them, the episodes in the first season. But I started off doing small roles on procedural shows like Criminal Minds, CSI New York, True Detective, all the usual suspects.
So like what type of roles? I know I watched the episode of you on The Politician. I think they have you playing a Haitian.
Yeah. That's a hard accent, man.
Yeah, well, you sound African.
Which I think is a lie. The real reason is ignorant.
You sound Haitian.
Hey man, listen, I did my best. You know,
No, accents are difficult. But does the African accent come off natural to you? Like the West African accent is pretty easy?
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I never practiced that. Of course, I knew it when I was younger, but when I moved to America around 4 years old, I lost it. Yeah. But then when I started to get those roles for acting and auditioning, I just would mimic like this, you know, the Nigerian movies.
Nollywood, yeah. I watch those movies.
It's crazy. But it just naturally just came back. So it was just in there. You know?
That's dope, though. I think it's dope that you went for your dreams, pursue something, you know, non-traditional, because where I'm from, Midwest, super blue collar, people like get a real job and, you know, they just kind of kill your dreams. So I think it's dope you pursued that. I know this is a random question, but I'm gonna ask anyway. What's the biggest role that you were up for, you thought you were gonna get or had a chance and you got passed up on?
Man, he's like bringing back the nightmare. It was, you know what I'm saying? I was depressed after I didn't get this role for a little while. Have you ever seen that movie called Dope?
Of course.
Yeah.
That was
Dope.
I could see you.
Yeah.
I could see you doing that one.
So I had 4 auditions. So I beat out like 300 people for that role. And I made it to the last step. And it was just me and the director, basically. Wow. And so they were testing the girls, which is they were bringing in different girls. You know, the girl who played the lead role, there was like 4 girls for that role. And they each had to read with me, basically. So I thought I had it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was me and the director.
Yeah, that's life-changing role, yeah.
He's Nigerian, you know? So we were just chopping it up, talking and everything, joking, laughing. And I would say about like 20 minutes after I got through the auditions, I see this other young kid come in.
Same height, same color.
Yeah, like the slightly younger version of me.
Yeah.
So I look at him like, wait, hold up, who's this? You know, And there was another girl there, and she said, "I think he's here to audition for the role, the same role." And I was like, "Nah, no way, bro. Nah." And then the casting director came up to me and she said, "Man, Kobe, thank you, but you're done for today." And she said this in front of everybody. It was like 10 people in that room. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and it was just, yeah, it was heartbreaking, man.
I'm sorry about that, man. My bad, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask more questions like that.
And I caught the bus too. I wasn't driving at that time. No, this was crazy. Like I walked out and I had to stay at the bus station
Yeah.
to catch the bus.
So like he gonna cry in the car.
Hey man, it was crazy. And you know, I told everybody, so everybody thought that was the
Yeah.
break. Everyone, even my barber was like, "Bro, this is yours, man. You gonna go in there tomorrow? You will get it." Got my haircut the next week. He was like, "Yo, so when you start filming?"
Ouch.
So
Ouch. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Snowfall. I thought that was gonna, but did you get far in that process?
yeah, that one I did too, but not as close. So I got to like the third audition, but that one there was like 10 auditions for that role. I mean, I know the Damson Idris, you know, we had the same manager at the time.
Okay.
That's why I kept going in. But they wanted someone over 6 feet specifically.
okay.
He's 6'1".
Okay,
So,
yeah, no, that's
I didn't know nothing I could do
being
about
vertically challenged. It
Yeah.
definitely hurts in Hollywood, and especially like I think like 5'11" to 6'1" is the range because you can actually be too tall for certain roles as well. Because when they have female leads that are like 5'4", 5'5", it doesn't look right when a guy's 6'5" or something, right? But we don't have that problem. We don't have to worry about that happening in particular. So no, that's really dope that you pursued that, and you know you still got traction. You're still young.
Yeah.
And I know with black actors, you know, we have like a range that we can play from playing, you know, a lot younger, even a lot older, depending on which wave that you catch. So you know, look forward to seeing you in a lot more roles. And so,
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
now I met you while you were traveling abroad. For the people that don't know, we're here in Barranquilla, Colombia. Met this young brother, and once he told me that he was of the African diaspora, actually really African, and moved to the States, I was like, where did you live? He was like, Miami and LA, like the two most expensive, not even just expensive, they're status cities.
Status, bro.
Like you gotta have a Lambo just to get traction. And so I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you, like, what's the difference in like cost of living and just overall like quality of life between the cities you lived in and the places you visited here in Colombia?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Miami, LA, one of the top 2 most affluent and expensive places in the U.S., right? You throw in New York in there too. But yeah, I grew up in Miami, and then after college, I moved to LA to pursue acting. And then I lived there for about 10 years, a little bit longer than 10 years. I'm still there. I would say at this point, they're very similar. So Miami and LA, because Miami's become so popular.
Right.
After the pandemic, all these people moved there because it was still open. You know what I'm saying? Man, even a 1-bedroom apartment can run up to $3,000 a month. You know, from $2,000 to $3,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment.
A shoebox.
Yeah,
And is that like a nice neighborhood at least, or just a regular?
yeah, like a downtown area.
What
Up
about
to-
Brickell? Like if you
the famous Brickell. Oh man, you better go rent that car. Yeah, man. Okay, pay $100 for lunch.
But you know, I got boys that live out in Miami. And I'll go up there for a weekend, and we get to a club. They're like, "Yeah, it's $500 each." Like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, y'all all gotta get a bottle. You know, if you show up
No,
without
it's
women,
true.
they're gonna like make all the guys get a bottle.
It's true.
Or you gotta get
It's
a
true.
section. I'm just like, so you mean it's 4 of us? We about to spend $2,000 today? And my friends, they're
Yeah.
used to it.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, it's all good. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's cheaper if we just get a flight and fly to Colombia, where bottle services, you know, you get a bottle for as cheap as $20.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, shoot,
In the
you
club.
spend $100 on a bottle in Colombia, and you got a section and all that, you know. But it's interesting you say that. About a year ago, when I went home for New Year's, I usually go out and hang out with my homeboys that I grew up with. Right, I was calling the clubs because I was trying to see where we could go, and they all told me there's no more general admission, so you can only reserve. And it blew my mind. every time I would go home over 10 years, there would be more gentrification. You heard of Wynwood?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't even there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like the hood, you know? So overall, LA and Miami, very expensive, affluent. Colombia, where I'm at now, and is a lot more affordable. I would say Medellin is becoming a lot more progressive, you know, as far as cost of living, but it's still very affordable, I think, if you're making US dollars.
What is your favorite city in Colombia, if you don't mind me asking? And why?
You know, at this moment, I think it's Barranquilla.
Okay.
Or how do I say it? Barranquilla?
Barranquilla. You gotta
Barranquilla. You gotta roll your R's.
No, you don't have to.
Well, they get mad
but
at
Africans, y'all can roll your R's, man. Like,
That's true.
better than we can. Americans, they sound like we're a pirate. Like, Barranquilla.
Oh,
we butcher words when we
true.
speak Spanish.
But I'm not like different. I've been to Medellin, Cartagena several times, and Barranquilla. This is my third time.
Okay.
Overall, I like Barranquilla because it's like it's a city, but it's not as busy as Medellin. So I still get the cultural feel of Colombia.
Okay.
And it's slightly less expensive than Medellin as well. And it's more chill.
Yeah.
Right? But it's still only 2 hours away from Cartagena?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
2 hours on the bus. So if you take a bus, it's gonna be 2 hours. If you take a car, you can do it in an hour and 15, but you're gonna get a ticket.
No, you ain't trying to do all that. You know, you don't want to end up in the Colombia jail. But
you don't want to end up in jail anywhere, but definitely not a Colombian jail.
Yeah, man. Overall, it's perfect. It's like a mix between Medellin and Cartagena. It's very diverse. There's like Afro Latins here. There's would you say Paisa?
I mean, no, they just have like what I call like, stock Colombian, and then you have like Trigueñas, like the people that are mixed indigenous and white, and then you have like indigenous looking people, Afro-Colombians.
Very diverse, and it's just
no, and here,
so
like you walking in certain neighborhoods, they're just gonna think you're from here, right? They're not until you speak, right?
Yeah, everyone's speaking to me in Spanish confidently, and as soon as I open my mouth, they're like, "Oh, there's a slight bit of disappointment." Slightly, they're just like,
how is your Spanish?
Mi español es más o menos. Estoy aprendiendo español.
Bueno.
I have a teacher. I've had her for maybe 3 months, but I've been practicing off and on for a year.
We went to the beach the other day. We went to Puerto del Mar, and he was holding his own, man. I thought you was decent. Like, you was speaking Spanish.
Oh, yeah, I was, you know? I mean, a beautiful Latina will make you learn fast.
His motivation.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, when she was talking to me, the words were coming out. Because I was forced to communicate in that moment.
Yeah.
The brain tends to do that under pressure.
So, without going into a whole bunch of specifics and only share what you want to share, how different is the dating scene from like a Miami than you come here to Barranquilla? What's the most noticeable differences?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, in Miami, you basically have to be rich. I mean, I'm not a millionaire yet, am I? It's coming.
It's coming.
No, basically just cost of living affects everything, you know? So, yeah, it really just comes down to a financial difference and a cultural difference.
Okay.
Miami is very affluent, like I was saying before, and everyone is just trying to get it. Everyone's trying to make a lot of money.
So let's say, give me an example. Let's say Saturday night, you're going to take out a date in Miami. What you're going to spend minimum? Just if you're trying to do the bare minimum, 2 people going out for food and drinks.
Oh man, on a weekend.
So he only going on dates on Tuesdays. He's like, the weekend? No, that's off limits.
Well, I mean, okay, well, it's anywhere from, I'll say at least $300 at the minimum to $1,000, depending where you're going.
He said that so casually. You said that so
Nah.
300 to 1,000?
Yeah.
For a date?
Yeah, you go out for
I
dinner.
haven't lived in the States in a long. It's been 11 years,
Yeah.
man. I've been gone for a minute.
Yeah, no, seriously, you go dinner. Yeah, then she gonna want at least a couple drinks.
I'm gonna have to translate that for my
Yeah.
my Colombian followers.
No, really.
Él está diciendo que uno puede gastar hasta 4 millones de pesos en una cita, un sábado, para que sepas. Sí. Wow. Bueno. All right. So.
Well, see, his Spanish is excelente. Excelente.
So.
Yeah.
Here, let's say you're gonna go out on a date Saturday night to like a very an upscale spot. Like, you know, we're not skimping. What are you thinking about spending?
Well, anywhere from really a nice date, I'd say $50 to $100.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot more reasonable. See, a fraction, 1/10 of the cost almost.
Yeah, and $100
Much
you
more.
still got the order.
Yeah.
You had the entrada. You had the
With 100, yeah, that's a nice place. Steakhouse,
400,000. Yeah.
couple drinks, dessert.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Now my boy Ohaji, he has a steakhouse here. You go to, you might double that, but it's delicious though. Miura. It's like they got the tomahawk.
Okay.
He took me there for my birthday, and the bill was so much that I had to split it with him. Even on my birthday, I'm like, no, I can't make you pay for this. But I think we still spent like, like $200
Okay, yeah,
for
okay.
a tomahawk steak.
Even still, let's say it is somewhere really nice. Let's say the top place, $200. That's still, that relatively would be the 1,000 in Miami.
Miami. Gotcha.
Top steakhouse in Miami, like, close to 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's something you don't do all the time. So
Yeah.
when you go out here and you end up spending that type of money, you realize like, okay, this is something I'm only going to do, like we say, de vez en cuando. But there's some guys that come out here, I said they mess up the economy. And you see this in Cartagena where they just go out balling out. And actually, it's funny because he has a YouTube page. And he was talking about some tips in Cartagena. He's talking about giving money to the kids in the streets. Do not give money to the kids in the streets. Not saying don't help people, but they will remember forever. What's your experience with that?
Forever. They got a memory like an elephant, okay? When I first came to Cartagena back in December of 2022, I didn't know the rules. So in the US, yeah, I'll give homeless or people that are on the streets $1 here and there, especially if it's a kid. In LA, there's a lot of young people on the streets. So I thought it was similar in Cartagena. So these young kids running up to me when I went out with some of my homeboys. We were going to a club. After the club, I had a pocket full of money. Not a lot of money, just like $20 in change, ones and fives. And I gave them out to the kids. Problem is, they just kept coming out of nowhere. I gave one girl a $5. I think they all saw that. They were like, what? A $5, a US $5. One like 10-year-old girl.
No, 5,000 pesos would have been absurd. If you would have broke out 5,000 pesos, they would have came out.
Yeah.
You would have lost your shadow before you lost them kids.
Bro. Yeah. So I was like,
2 years ago.
yeah, maybe 10 kids I gave money. And I've been back. This is my 7th time. Every time I go to Cartagena, like I'm going tomorrow, those kids remember me. They're like, they remember my name.
They're like, Kobe.
Yeah, they see me. They're like, yo, Kobe, man, Kobe. And they're big now.
Yeah.
Tall. Be careful.
Yeah, nah.
Be careful when
I'll
you
give
go out there.
change if I feel comfortable and if it's readily available, but never go into your pocket, pull out a wallet and start taking out cash. Because by accident, you're going to pull out big bills.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And once they
yeah.
catch one of that,
Yeah, I
it's gonna
did.
be a-
As I continue to come, I learned my lesson. I would separate the money for them. It would just be, like the change, just very minimal. Keep it regular.
Another thing I would do is I just wait till my last day of my trip.
that's
I would
smart.
wait till my last day, and then sometimes you buy some stuff and you got to take some stuff out of your suitcase, and maybe I'll give them a shirt that they can't get. You know what I'm saying? Just on my last day, but never when I first get it, because I won't be bothered. You know what I'm saying, on the day in and day out. And so
Yeah. No, that's good.
So speaking of Cartagena, I was going to ask you. So how do you feel about like this passport bros movement? Because I know you started traveling before that was a thing. What is your? I know you did a video about this, and so
I did. I did a couple videos. I think it's interesting. I think I think it's there's a lot of different interpretations of what it means to people.
Okay.
And there's actually subsets of people within the group that believe different things.
Right.
And I think people get categorized as passport bros that don't ask to be.
Yeah.
And they just say, "Oh, you're one of those passport bro guys, right?" Because it's mostly men.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good that men are traveling because I'm like my dad traveled all over the world to all 7 continents. That's one of the reasons that I love to travel, you
Okay.
know. But he did most of that stuff before I was born and when
Okay.
I was young. So I think, of course, it's great to travel, to learn new cultures, and to just get a broader perspective in life. But overall, unfortunately, I think the name has more negative than positive to it.
Okay.
Although I don't believe that most guys, at least most guys that I've met in the group, seem cool or that identify themselves as passport bros
Yeah.
seem cool. But I'm not gonna lie, there's maybe, let's say a solid 20% that are problematic.
Yeah.
That cause problems. You know, they go places and they're throwing money in clubs and doing like just strange things.
Yeah. They try to bring the states too much of the states.
Yeah, just
to
too
Colombia.
much.
Yeah.
And they're, just paying for all types of services.
How do I see?
Yeah. Exploiting different things,
Yeah.
Which is just, it's not really my thing.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's a little complicated, but unfortunately, when it does come up, we have to specify how we are related to that movement or not part of it, really. You know.
All right. So I don't want to hold the people for too long today, but I do want to ask you if a young man, young brother, maybe in his 20s, just got his passport, is thinking about coming abroad, what's like advice you would like to give that young brother?
Yeah. Okay. I actually went over this in one of my YouTube videos. I think it's most important to have a network because these days, the great thing is we're so connected, right? On the internet, of course, they can look up YouTube pages to. There's people that are traveling that have posted advice on just about every country we can think of, right? But you want to build a network so you can be more informed on where you're going. And, so I would say Facebook, I found, has been very helpful for me to build that network. So you just go on Facebook, type in, say you're going to Colombia, you can type in Medellin, travel, Barranquilla, Bogota, passport, group, whatever keywords you want to type in that have to do with where you're going. And you'll see a list of groups, just request to join them. And then from there, ask questions. Ask where the tourist areas are, what are the best places to eat? What are the things that I can do? So that's my first thing. Then after that, just general advice, I would say create an itinerary after you get the advice because you don't want to get there and just what's happened to me before, you'll just waste time.
Yeah.
You just be hanging around trying to figure out what to do and then the day is gone already and you want to make sure you're organized. And thirdly, try to go with somebody, which is hard because, when you try to convince people to travel, yeah, I'm going to come. And then the day comes and
You start off with 10 people and end up by yourself.
Yeah, which sucks. It's just, especially when you're first going to a country and you're young.
Yeah.
That's why the network is so important. And really just, just research, man.
Okay.
As much as you can. And let's see, what else could I say on that? If you're going to South America, no need to be too flashy or carry too much money on you. Make sure you understand the safety precautions that you need to take on whatever country you're going to. Yeah.
As we've said a zillion times on the show, don't give papaya. No doubt papaya. That's one of the first phrases I learned when I moved to Colombia. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of like, just don't set yourself up.
Yeah.
And what we talked about earlier, being flashy, throwing your money out in the clubs, taking your wallet out. You don't have to have your rollie. Yeah. You don't have to have the gold chains. Yeah. It's really no benefit to it here.
Right. Yeah. See, I'm in the studio. So I got my watch on. But other than that, I don't really wear the stuff out, Unless you're like in a private setting. Let's say you're in a party that one of your friends is throwing in their apartment or something, that's cool. You know people there. It's safe. You know.
But even that can go
Even
sideways.
that, you're right. You don't know every single person, but just
No, I mean,
use common sense.
met this young brother a while back in that type of circle with people traveling. He stood out as someone that was different than everyone else, to be honest. And I could tell he was on something similar to what I was on. So I'm like, oh man, it's like a little brother, like a more swole little brother. And and so man, it's nice to get to know you. Hope the people really get to take your advice, and tell them again how to find you on social media.
Yeah, so I'm everywhere at official Kobe. It's Koby. So, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, official Kobe.
All right, man. Well, thank you for this rendition of Black Boys
bro.
and Broad. Hope you guys tune in. If you got any questions for him, he's very reachable. Jump in his DMs, leave a comment below, like and subscribe.
Yeah.